Hi, welcome to the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and tonight we see it's Terry Yoffe.
And Coaches Creating Change. Wow.
Yes.
And it's December.
It's
End
December.
of the year.
This will be the last you hear from us this year.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so we decided, what are we going to talk about? And of course, we came up with change.
Right. You know,
change, our theme here.
Our theme, and 2019 is almost in the rearview mirror, and 2020 is almost in front of us.
Just amazing.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
So we don't even know. We're going to take change from all different kinds of perspectives, I think, and angles. So I don't know. Terry's got some exciting news because she went to ICF Converge
in Prague.
Thank you very much. And she's going to tell us a little bit about that. You want to start with that, and then we can play off that, I guess. Yeah.
So first, I would like to congratulate Magda Mook, who is the CEO of ICF, International Coach Federation.
Mm-hmm.
She was honored and recognized by Marshall Goldsmith's Thinkers 50 Leading Coaching Award as the #1 coach global influencer. And wow, so exciting for her and what she has done for the advancement of the coaching profession. Very exciting, and I really wanted to acknowledge her. We both did,
right?
And ICF for that. And you wanted to acknowledge somebody, I think.
Right. I wanted to acknowledge Gara of Aurora, who also got an award there. And I understand there were a couple of other leading people in the field that got awards. So they're recognized. Meryl Moritz, right?
Pat Matthews.
Pat Matthews, all kinds of stuff. I have to ask Terry, is that the vibration from your phone?
It is.
Okay, no, that's all right. I just don't want to blow up here.
Lap.
No, it's okay. Leave it. I got it now.
Some notes on it.
I'm going. Something's getting ready to blow up because we've had a technical day already. So it's like, all right,
that's
good.
My phone.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Not a problem. And actually, I was at the ICF NYC holiday party, and there was someone from Dubai that's on the board, and I've forgotten her name, Linda somebody, and she was saying that there are now 33,000 members in ICF.
Wow.
And that's a big organization around the world. So
kudos to Magda.
Yeah, kudos to ICF for getting it together, for Magda for holding it together, and for all of us for doing all the stuff we do.
Exactly. So when you talk about change, I'm going to kind of, I went to the ICF Converge 19 conference, and that's why this is, and it started off with someone by the name of Franz Johansson, and I wanted to, one of his slides was, here it is, which really set the mood for the conference. Always look for opportunities to change the rules of the game. And at the conference, every breakout session pretty much had the common thread of disruption, uncertainty, change going on in the world, in the country, in the business landscape, and how as coaches can we be prepared and be better equipped to coach people that come to us with this whole with this
like the vibration,
with this dilemma. And words that were thrown out were thriving in uncertainty, being comfortable being uncomfortable, disruption. I had a few here. I don't exactly know what I did with it, and figuring out how to be uncomfortable in this volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous business landscape that is in front of us. Constantly changing.
Yeah.
That if you are an entrepreneur or you're a company that is living off your laurels and continuously not making changes, you will fall by the wayside.
We could point out a lot of companies that already have, like, the companies that have been Toys R Us, crazy things, things that just people that didn't, or companies that didn't adapt. So that stands true for individuals as well.
And the bigger question is how do we, as coaches in the 21st century, how do we help our clients?
Yeah.
For me, one of the things is we better be changing also.
Just when you think you've got it all down, it's like, no, maybe not. Yeah.
We need to be upping our game. And what are we doing with the way we coach and how we coach that we need to change? And it's all about self-awareness of ourselves and how much inner work have we done that we can be prepared to work with people who are so uncertain with, are they going to still be with the company? Is the company still going to be there? WeWork's just let off 2,400 people.
Yeah.
So, Laurie?
Yes. Yes. Say my turn. No, I mean another thing that comes into play with this is we had a whole show about this. How do you help people make changes without inserting your biases, without inserting your viewpoints? It's like, how magnanimous and how expansive can you be that you can allow all kinds of changes, because they're coming fast and people are changing at different stages also. You're here and your client is here. Do you want to run back and pull them, or do you want to let them grow on their own? And I think that comes down to self-awareness too. It's like, my feeling is, but it's not my session. It's the client's session. So what do we do with that? And so change is yes, definitely necessary for coaches. And we're going to talk about what ICF has done to address that with the new, improved, and razzle-dazzled core competencies. And but also on an individual basis. And I think that's interesting, because it used to be that, you would, my coaching school was like, you got to have an elevator speech, and you got to, which means you got to tell people what you do within five seconds, so as the floors go down the elevator, so you can catch somebody. And now it's not really, I think it's more about, let's find out what the person needs, and can you fill that need? Right. So it might not, you might have to take a few elevator rides if you're going to do the elevator speech. Yeah.
That's true. People are uncomfortable. We all love our comfort zones. Yes. Everybody does. Yes. And that's okay for a moment or two or whatever it is. However, it's definitely not where you're going to be challenged or where you're going to grow. So how do you push yourself to the edge of being uncomfortable, and where can you insert yourself in uncomfortable situations to grow? It's interesting. I wrote a blog a long time ago called Dancing on Shifting Sands.
You did, I remember that.
Right.
Yeah, I love the title, yeah.
Well, it wasn't really relevant then. However, I pulled it up and, I rewrote it. But it's so irrelevant now that this is what the business landscape looks like, and how do you dance in it in a way that you're willing to make changes, because it's all about change, and change the rules of the game.
Right. And whose game do you want to play? I mean, these are all options that are out there now, and it's because I know you and I came from different coaching schools, and there are things that are standard, and then there are different ways to do. And I don't know about your coaching school, but mine is constantly changing and improving and trying to keep up with ICF, who's changing all the time, And so it's like, okay, what do you keep? What do you throw out? What do you add? What do you need to supplement with? And so it's all, but should we, I know the answer, but how hard is it to do? Should we seek out change so that we can continue growing? And it's like, the answer is yes. It's like, how do you get around to doing that? It's like, today, I'm used to a certain thing happening in here. It did not, and I got in a little snit, I will admit that, and I was ready to get out of here. So what do we do? How do we adapt to, how do we seek out change? How do we adapt to it?
That's a good question.
Yeah. And how do we help our clients do it, actually?
Well, how do you have your clients do it is more key. Go back to when we did our coaching. It was very this way. You ask a lot of questions,
right?
And that was the name of the game. Well, a client doesn't want to come to coaching to be asked a million questions at this juncture.
It's true. And they definitely don't want to hear you have all the answers.
No.
It's like, well, then why are you seeing me?
Right.
go get the answer.
It's more about having a partnership. It's more about if you want to advise, how do you couch it that you're advising? How do you strategize with them to help them? You may not have certainly as coaches, we don't have the answer, but sometimes they look for some kind of an answer, and it's okay today to say, look, what makes you want to know my answer? And this is my answer, but it might not apply to you.
How does it resonate with you?
Right. So the whole coaching game has changed on how we as coaches approach our clients. What kind of clients? And in the at the conference, one of the breakout sessions was with somebody named David Peterson, who's pretty well known, and he was a coach with Google or very involved with Google. He does a lot of speaking engagements.
I am going to move your mic because you know what? Your earring is clicking. I got a feeling people are going to be.
Oh, goodness. Did you move it?
I did.
Okay,
yes.
Sorry.
Feel free to move your head now.
Yeah. So it's about gaining a wider scope of clients. If you've got a niche market of only coaching, I'll make it up, CPAs, and that's your field, well, maybe you want to expand it a little bit.
Yes.
And do something a little different, or a different type of client to help you grow and help you learn and grow with other types of individuals.
That's interesting because when I came out of coaching, it was like, go out there. You don't need to know everything. You can coach anybody. But we gravitate toward what we know, and we feel very comfortable. And eventually your niche calls you, and it's like, oh, I really like doing, like, you like executives. You like stuff like, and it's like, and I really like doing creating awareness and reinvention. But it's like, it's good to narrow down because if you're marketing, but also you also have to make that expansion because a lot of times people are going to come to you and go, I have an executive coaching problem, and really when you dig down and you go down, it has very little to do with executives.
Exactly.
It has something to do with an inner thing.
Right, exactly. So and that's the whole thing. So my perspective is the more you are in touch with your own inner workings, the more you're self-aware on every level, the more opportunity you have to really help somebody. So hypothetically, if you have an issue with finances and money, you will have a very hard time if you get a client that wants to talk about money and finances.
Yes.
Because if you haven't cleared it up yourself, you're going to try to avoid that topic.
Absolutely.
Or whatever topic it might be. So, even sex. I mean, I've had clients, we don't go into detail, but that does come up as a topic.
Sure, absolutely.
And how do you address it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just one end of the spectrum. However,
pretty good end,
but it's so as coaches we have to be changing. Coaches creating change.
That's right.
We have to be changing
so that we can help others create their change.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And as the year comes to an end, I might invite you to look at where have you changed in how you coach, where haven't you, and what might it look like for you next year to start to make those changes.
Oh, I like that. That's a nice challenge, and I would challenge. What were your? Of course, what were your successes? We all like to celebrate them.
Right.
But what were the things that you weren't happy with, and how would you, if you had a do-over, how would you change it? And again, we're bringing in change, from lessons and opportunities to learn, or opportunities to grow, and which is what you were saying. It's interesting because ICF has, I believe, the ACC level. They're saying you're coaching the what. It's like, what is the problem and how can we solve it? When you get to the PCC level, and ACC is accredited certified coach, and PCC is professional certified coach. When you get to that, you're coaching the what, but you're also coaching the who's doing this. When you get to the master coach, certified coaching level, you're coaching the who. It's like, who are you, and why is this problem bothering you, or why is this your goal, or where do you want to be, or why do you want to make this change? It's all about you. So it's a beautiful blend, but what we're working toward right now is, like, I think as coaches, we have to be aware that there's always a who under the what, you know? It's like the person who creates the what, it's the who, and sometimes it's more productive to just go on down there and find out who the who is, you know?
So I've got another
quote.
Okay, cool. Let me see if I can, oh my goodness, find. I'll go to my trusty phone. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I'm seeing ducks and windows. I don't know. There you go.
Well, there's two. One I love, which is two curmudgeon people sitting in a restaurant, and looking like, and the waiter says to them, "Would you like to hear tonight's specials, or have you already closed yourself to new experiences?"
There you go. They're very simple. Yes.
You closed your mind to new experiences.
Sometimes it can be that simple, just like, oh, try a new dish. You know, as a kid, they go, oh, you say, no, I hate that. No, just try it and then see. Then you can hate it.
One more, and the trouble is, if you don't risk anything, you risk even more, and that was by Erica Young.
Yeah.
So.
And she was there. You said she was fantastic, right?
Who?
Wasn't Erica Young there, the flying lady?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was David Peterson had that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's all about risk. It's all about risk. It's about how many times are you willing to get into the arena, as Brené Brown would talk about, and get beaten down and then get up again, the warrior, and be vulnerable, because this is what we're talking about. If you look at the real word
vulnerable, here, absolutely,
that clients, if they're living in this kind of an environment, they're very vulnerable because of the landscape. And taking risks and knowing they have to change, and what if they make the wrong choice? So they're kind of coming to coaching almost naked, trying to figure out how they can survive and thrive in a landscape of uncertainty.
It's so interesting when you're saying that, because, of course, my head is going to politics. It's that time of year. It's always that time of year now. But it seems like it's like one party doesn't want to change, and the other party hates the change that's come about. So how do we get all that together? We're not going to solve it tonight.
No, we're not looking
But it's interesting because, again, it all comes back to change. It's all like, how comfortable are you? And how willing are you to expand and take in the new? Very interesting. I'm going to think about that later, but anyway. And what ICF has done with the new core competencies, they've made them very friendly, user-friendly, actually. And one of my favorite is, and I know it's
longer. I mean, it's way
longer, but it's more. It makes more sense, it's not just a bunch of rules. It's like, here's what the rules mean. My very favorite is comfortable working in a space of not knowing. Okay. And often we always think, oh my God, I'm getting paid. I'm the one who is supposed to be the coach. I gotta know how to solve this problem. You really don't. You have to just know how to help the other person come up with their solution. And
that's the coach sits in a place of not knowing.
They should,
and trying to figure out, or trying to raise their hand and say, oh, I have the answer for you, I have the answer for you.
It's so hard not to do.
Yeah, well, it's sitting back and not knowing and just being present. Because I know sometimes after a call I'll go, shucks, I should have taken it in a different direction. I could have done something.
Yeah.
But the point was, it didn't matter, because
No.
they may have gotten it, or, even if they don't get it, we beat ourselves up, because there has to be an aha moment somewhere in that coaching session.
Yeah, that's kind
or
of
else
what you live
know.
for,
Right.
but it's
Right.
not that's your
Exactly.
agenda, not the client's agenda.
Sometimes it doesn't end that way. However, sometimes the client will get off a call and ruminate about the session and come up with their own thoughts.
Sometimes a lot of the work goes on in between calls,
Right,
in
exactly.
the just in between, this time and
Right.
next time. So, which is great. And as far as change is going, I think we have to, as coaches, and then pass on to our clients, the opportunities in change, not the fears, not the possible risk. It's like, okay, what are the opportunities in change, and what are the opportunities in failure? It's like how. The thing is, there are no failures. Everything's an opportunity, an opportunity to learn.
Right. It's only feedback.
Yeah. So these are, if you haven't seen them yet, if you're a coach, they're coming out and they're going to be advertised, and there are webinars going on too.
They're also on the website, right? They can download.
I think
that's where I got mine.
Oh, did you?
I think
okay.
so.
All right.
Maybe.
They should be if they're not, and they will be shortly, I'm sure.
Right.
But and everything will, I think it's 2021 when it's actually all, correspondence and everything will coordinate with this. But right now, the emphasis, which we've been noticing, Terry and I both over the past year, is partnering with your client. Which means there isn't a wrong direction. If you partner with a client and let them choose which way they want to go, there's no wrong direction, because it's their choice, And you can just point out, I see this and I see this. Which way would you like to go? So it's, that's one way to make sure that you're not imposing your thoughts and your views and your values. If you and there's a lot of core competencies in here, or definitions, I guess, under the core competencies that help you do that. They just partner with the client. It's so much easier than trying to read their mind. It's
Yeah, and the one thing I noticed about this is it's much more in depth. The last core competencies, it was foundation. 1, 2, period. Next one, 1, 2.
Right.
I mean, these go
and there was nothing on ethical practice, which is Terry's favorite one, on creating intimacy and all of that. And now there is.
Co-creating the relationship.
There's a lot on that, but there was nothing on ethics.
Trust.
Really, it was just like, okay, be ethical. But now they're really telling you, what does that really mean? What does be ethical mean to ICF and to us as coaches and to our clients? So there's a lot of explanations under that. They've flushed out also, as I said, Terry's creating intimacy and trust.
Right.
Cultivates
trust and safety.
And they've flushed out a lot of them and just made them more applicable to what's actually going on out there in coaching sessions with coaches and with clients.
Yeah, it's more in depth. It's more.
It is. Yeah, there are only 8. There used to be 11, and now there are 8.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's only.
They combined.
They combined a couple, which makes
the growth
sense.
And the learning.
They combined the last 3 and made it cultivating learning
which
and growth.
Which seemed to be better.
Yes,
that they were able to do that. But again, I would suggest, if you want to read it, go to the ICF website, coachfederation.org, and you can download the updated core competencies.
Yeah, and they're calling it a model right now because I'm sure ICF never stops. I'm sure they're going to be refining it based on recommendations once they're out there and people are discussing them. But they're really based. I would think, like I said, they're very user friendly, and they're also based on how are you going to help your client change. If the client didn't want to change, they wouldn't come to you. And a lot of times, I know people start their sessions out with, why'd you come to me? Why now? It's like, why coaching? Why now? And obviously, something's not working and they want to change. They either want to go further or they want to go fix something that isn't working or change.
Yes, and what I have seen with people that think they need to come to coaching is they'll do it for a while, and then when you hit a nerve, they run away.
Yes.
I've had several clients after a couple of coaching sessions, and you start to really dig deep, they disappear, they ghost.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah.
They ghost and they disappear, because I think people think sometimes, what a good idea, and they may be fooling themselves.
Right.
You know, that,
right.
gee, I'd love to do some coaching, I need it. And they have kind of one foot in the coaching and one foot out the door.
Just in case, because it's scary. I mean, again, it comes down to change. People
Right.
are afraid. It's that comfort zone. It's like, oh, I don't want to be out of the comfort zone. So, yeah, I'm going to keep the foot over here just in case I got to get out of here. But, yeah, that's a common, and that's a good word for it. There is another word for it for that period. It's like after the first couple of sessions, and it's like, first couple of sessions are like, wow, how cool is this? And then it's like, oh, now I got to really get down there. I'm not sure I want to do that.
And they disappear.
But sometimes they come back, and that's good.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't. And that's interesting. I wonder if anybody's addressing that. You know, I think the idea is to create a safe space where they can change at their own pace and work at their own pace. And if they're unsafe, if they feel unsafe, I guess it's their prerogative. All we can do is try to, create that environment and say, it's okay to change here. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to, change your direction. Whatever you want to do here, it's okay. We can also punt. We can not deal with that right now. Not Terry, but I would be that nice. She's not nice at all.
Well, you talk about feeling unsafe. I think that comes within themselves. I don't think it's the space created.
Right. I mean, you have to create that space,
right.
but then how?
Yeah,
sure.
It hits a place where they're not willing to finish the marathon, if you will.
Yeah.
They say, "Great, I'm going to do that marathon. I'm going to practice, I'm going to do what I need to do," and they get to the marathon, and they run part way, or they don't even get there, and then they walk off and say, this was more difficult than I imagined, so I'm not going to finish.
Yeah.
And
that would make a great show for next year. How do you keep your clients motivated? How do you keep them?
That's
a
topic.
Great one.
That's
now, remember that when we're saying, what
how
do we want to talk about?
Them motivated.
How do you keep them motivated? And how do you keep it? I really think it comes down to change again. I hate to keep using our
that's
thing.
what we're going to end with.
I think if you get them comfortable with changing and go, wow, what an opportunity, instead of, ooh, what a scary venture.
Right. Well,
then, they might look forward to, ooh, okay, I'm changing. I can get into that.
And they do it slowly rather than quickly. Yeah. And we are almost at the end.
I can't believe it. So we're going to wish you happy holidays, happy New Year, and tell you that we are going to be back in January 2020.
With Coaches Creating Change.
Yes. So thanks for tuning in.
Thank you very much.
See ya. Bye.